Ladies and gentlemen, if elections were to be held in this country today, would you vote for William Samoei Arap Ruto as the next president of the Republic of Kenya? I want those who voted for William Ruto specifically to answer this particular question. Because according to AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI, one of William Ruto's key allies and lawyers, William Ruto has lost touch completely with the voters, and that Kenyans now hate William Ruto, and that Ruto might never get the vote in 2027. So in this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto has actually lost touch with the Kenyans. Because for those who follow the politics of this country, if you've been going online, there's a lot of disappointment, especially by those or from those who voted for William Ruto. For example, Cosmo Choi had this to say.
Umeweka former Meru governor Kiraitu Mirungi, umempea kasi kubwa, na yeye amepigia Raila kura. Umeacha wale maasura wako. Umeleta Profesa Nyakabong kichana round fupi. Profesa Nyakabong umempea kazi na amesupporti Raila, amempigia Raila. Maasura yako wamesama hapa. Maasura wanaumia. Ni ngumu sana asura kukupigia kura. Wacha niseme ukweli. Nimeona kwa Mchomba yeye ametetea watu wake vile watu wamemwambia msiingilie kwa Mchomba, hiyo ni mind yake. Ako independent na ametoa uamuzi yake. Ninasema ukweli. Kura ipigwe saa hii. Kura ipigwe saa hii. Mtukufu rais ataenda nyumbani hata pata kura. Hata wakali njini wengi watampigia out. They'll vote him out. Mount Kenya hakuna. Maneno ya asura hakuna. Unachukua watu hapa, unakusanya hao ndio watakutafutia kura 2027 ya kura. Maasura wamesaulika na maasura wamesoma. Nimeona chusi mmoja amesoma certificate yake, madigiri yake amesoma. Because of frustration hakuna kazi. Patara watu wapewe, unafanya lisako wale watu wamekuwa kwa serikali, wamekuwa magovernors, wananchi wanalia. Ninatetea wananchi wote wa Kenya kwanza na wa Azimio. Kama China ya Raila haitakuwa kwa debe, ila mtu atasimama na wewe 2020 atakuangusha mapema. Haki ya Mungu, haki Nyasaye, Nyasaye ajie likende. Nkai mwe. Nasema ukweli. Watu wasikii vizuri. Na sahi watu wakuli ukabila, ati tuchague mundu yetu, ati niyo mune, ati aterere mondo wakwa. Kitu watu wanataka ni maendeleo, sio ukabila. Hapana. Bora China ya Raila itakuwa kwa debe. Raila akisimama utamshinda. Utashinda hiyo uchaguzi. Kama Raila haitakuwa kwa debe, ni ngumu sana kurudi. Unless economy, unless shilingi ikuwe na nguvu, dola irudi chini penye ilikuwa. Ndio mimi nasema, aye Kasimo, msemo kweli.
That was one of the people who really campaigned very hard for William Ruto on these platforms. And then there was also this image of a boda guy removing branding of William Ruto from his boda bike. The guy is disappointed.
Hiyo watu unatumia pesa zako mingi. Ni pesa nye ulitumia ndio inanikasirisha. Jamaa hata hawezi rudisha hata mkono shukrani. Bunja tutajua mali tutazifungia takani hapa nyuma. Penye nitaona watu bwana choma watu bishika. Ungusha hii magasia. Watu ndaleta nuks kwa pikipiki yangu buchoma. Shinda hapa tukisema ati Kenya kwanza siji nini. Chama la kufa. Choma hii kitu bwana. Hatai kuchomeka. They're nice.
The other day, you saw a hustler burning his certificates. And of course, even from Rift Valley, there are many people who are calling on Raila Odinga to call for the mandamanos because they are not happy with the happenings in the current government.
Lazima tuambiane ukweli. Mimi ni mkale kabisa, mkale original. Mimi nataka tu niwaombe ya kwamba hakuna hata kitu kingine. Dawa ya hii nchi, na munisikize vizuri, kama wewe ni wa Kenya kwanza, kama wewe ni wa ODM, ama wewe ni nini. Dawa ya hii Kenya ni kusupport Raila Amolo Odinga 100%. Ile siku tutaenda maandamano, na munisikize vizuri. Watu kutoka Mount Kenya mjitokeze twende barabara. Wale watu kutoka Eldoret tunaingia barabara. Kama mnafikiria bado tunacheza, mngojee hiyo siku. Hata nimetaka nimwambie Raila, umechelewa sana. Unangojea nini? Tangaza hii mambo tuende kesho barabara. Okay.
And the other day you saw what happened in Gikomba when the media went there to ask them randomly their thoughts about the government. So in this video, I want us to look why Ruto has lost touch. Let us begin by going through what AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI is saying. Let me just go through the Twitter. The resistance to the finance bill, the punitive taxation it embodies, and the Bolshevik-like idea of Soviet housing it embraces wasn't because all these are past bad idea or His Excellency Ruto's government is out of touch with the needs of the hustlers. The resistance was more fundamental, and is going ahead to say the resistance was because he's trying to explain why Kenyans really resisted the finance bill. Remember, the finance bill has passed, but the truth of the matter is that Kenyans are totally against that finance bill. And now he's saying the resistance was because His Excellency Ruto, number 1A, has refused to address the emptying of public coffers by Uhuru administrations. So basically, AHMEDNASIR believes that the reason why Kenyans resisted the bill was because of corruption. Of course, there are a lot of concerns by Kenyans that even if these taxes were to be added, that most of them are going to end up in corruption. And he's also saying, number B, His Excellency Ruto has not implemented a single reform, especially in the justice and law and order. This is one area where William Ruto promised Kenyans that he was going to ensure that justice will be served. So according to AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI, nothing has happened. But according to William Ruto, he has already given judiciary money, and that for him, the reforms are complete. And is proceeding that the state of the country is the same as he vigorously campaigns against. He's trying to tell Ruto that the way William Ruto campaigned when the country was so bitter with Uhuru Kenyatta, that's the exact state of the country today. That the country is so bitter with William Ruto's government as we speak. And number D is saying decay and decomposition of important institutions like the judiciary isn't addressed. So I think AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI has issues with the judiciary. And he's also saying number E, Parliament is no longer the people's representative. No meaningful debate, oversight, or legislation is going on there. And of course, this is by design. William Ruto has ensured that nothing is actually happening in Parliament. He has captured Parliament. Members of Parliament just go there to stamp whatever he's telling them. He's bought members of Parliament left, right, and center, and he's concluding that even hope as a populist propaganda isn't given anymore. You know, he used to give people hope. He's no longer giving that. And because of that, he has lost hope. And it's now concluding here that fine, Parliament has now given President Ruto his budget as he wanted. Because remember, initially Ruto was complaining that he could do nothing because his budget was yet to be implemented. And he's saying, let him tell Kenyans how those who stole from us will be punished. Let him tell us those who stole from us will be punished. Tax collection is fine, but Kenyans need accountability, every shilling. So basically, the issue of the finance bill. But for me, AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI is not telling William Ruto the truth. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto is now unpopular. Before I give you the reasons why he is unpopular, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us go straight. Number one, the finance bill. This finance bill, and I think I've opined here severally, is what is going to bring William Ruto down. Ruto did not really take his time to listen or understand what Kenyans really wanted. He ought to have listened to the minds of Kenyans. What were they trying to say about this bill? Why were they opposed to certain aspect of the bill? For example, Kenyans were opposed to this housing bill, housing levy. he ought to have asked himself, why are Kenyans opposed to this particular levy? But for him, he believed that Kenyans are not opposed to that bill. What Kenyans are concerned about is the issue of accountability. And the other day I was shocked that when Pasaris announced that she was supporting this bill, she pointed out the housing, and she gave an example of someone who was going to earn, someone who is earning 10,000. That my message to anybody who is earning 10,000, that you'll only be deducted 300, which means even Pasaris is out of touch. Someone earning 10,000 in a month means that person is paid 330 daily to make it 10,000. So if you take 300 from that guy for house levy, what are you telling that person? You are taking his all day's job. So they didn't listen to the reality. Number two, the hustlers are very bitter, especially with the appointments to the government. Mama Mboga are not being appointed. Boda bodas are not being appointed. Boda guys who campaign for Ruto are just watching as William Ruto is bringing Kiraitu Murungi, who campaigned for Raila, is bringing Odoyo Wede, who campaigned for Raila, is bringing so many other people who campaigned for Raila. But for them, and this is what is making these guys to be angry. So if William Ruto is not careful, I don't know the language he will be using to convince these hustlers to support him again. And the other reason is that the cost of living is so high. And I think William Ruto brought this to himself. He made promises, some of them were unrealistic. But he's not even taken any effort to try to explain to Kenyans that this thing is going to go this long and this is what to expect. Instead, they kept on blaming the handshake and Raila. And you know, it's almost now 9 months and Kenyans are now tired with that narrative. So Kenyans are now like, sort out this issue. And of course, they have not sorted it out. The fact is the cost of living is going to go higher and it's going to be more difficult for them to convince the hustlers to vote for them. So the cost of living. And the other reason is definitely the skewed appointments in government. If you talk to anybody, they will tell you that appointments to government are nowadays either a Kalenjin affair or a Kikuyu affair, or you must know somebody. And there is this job vacancies, I think, which were announced by KRA and some tests were conducted. Kenyans are still waiting for the feedback. And Kenyans are actually joking that those positions have already been filled by those who matter. And lastly, the reality is also there. There are people who voted for Kenya Kwanza in the hope that their lives are going to change. They did know that once these guys get their offices, then they will go back to where they were. So it will take a lot of effort for William Ruto to win back these guys. And I agree with AHMEDNASIR ABDULLAHI that William Ruto has lost touch completely. What's your thought? Bye-bye.